Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Friday edition of Moohead Radio. I'm your host, a big and furry bovine, starting at 5 o'clock this evening because got a nice night out planned, and you know how it goes. I had to get my pool exercise in, my floor exercises in, and then got to go to dinner, and then got to sing, and that pretty well spells the evening. But that doesn't mean I don't do shows, and plenty of people are listening to them through the archive. If you're not here live, it's not that big a deal, really. Although sometimes it gets a little bit strange, but you can still watch it later on and say, man, he was in a weird fucking mood. How's everybody doing on a Friday? What a great day today in Northeast Ohio. My goodness. Not a cloud in the sky, and the corn is as high as an elephant's eye. It kind of looks like it's climbing clear up to the. Never mind. If you're not a Rogers and Hammerstein fan, I don't blame you. But no, beautiful. I mean, like 77, 78 degrees and beautiful. And it's going to get hot here, folks. Going to get real hot, like 89, 90-degree hot in the next couple of days. And that'll really be fun. You know, sometimes I get so disgusted with the state of professional athletics that I have to just mention it. And if you listen to this program, you know that I'm just dying to get to the football season so I can get away from baseball. And it's not that baseball itself is inherently evil. I mean, they have shortened the games to 2.5 half hours, but still, I mean, it's an improvement over what it was. And they have little different rules, and they said, okay, we're going to help out the offense of the game, and the way we're going to do it is by eliminating the shift. And teams are hitting worse than ever. I mean, you have a league average of like below 250. Can you believe this? And it's really makes for some really boring viewing. I really honestly believe that baseball season in Cleveland means absolutely nothing. It did for a while, and then it stopped. And it stopped with the Dolan's acquisition of the team. You already know how I feel about that. But, there comes a point when enough is enough. You cannot give up in a season and basically make your manager resign. You cannot throw up the red flag of surrender and then come back a few weeks later and say, oh, well, wait, we're in it to win it. They've been 5 games behind the Twins all fucking year long. The All-Star break, they were actually a game ahead of them. And that's when they just decided, fuck. Wheels came off and, had some injuries in the rotation, and we only have one guy who can hit, and they're pitching around him and walking him every 3 times he's at the plate. And Josh Naylor's having a great season, but like every other season, he gets injured because he's 40 pounds overweight. Nobody ever seems to factor. Believe me, I'm a fat guy who played athletics. It rips your body apart. And there's always going to be lower extremity issues with him because he's playing too heavy. Why can't he look at his brother and say, I'd like to be more like you? So all of these things happening, so they just decide, to hell with it. We give up. And they actually got rid of players who were underperforming anyway, the Josh Bells of the world, but got nothing for them whatsoever. We're going to bring Bronk into the stream. Hi, Bronk.
Boo.
And, Hey, R. Jones. Oh, me and my mom are driving through North Ridgeville listening to your show. Would you give a shout out to Kathy Jones? She's become a fan. Hi, Kathy Jones. You're the only
Hey.
Kathy Jones who's a fan of mine. There's another Kathy Jones who listens who thinks I'm garbage. So I'm even. No, I'm just kidding. So I'll keep it clean, R. Jones. I promise.
Oh
And
wow, he's got his mother listening to us. Oh
yeah,
no,
his mom's
I
listening.
should probably leave.
Yeah, you know, the beauty of this is that I can have Timmy Bartholow say hello to R. Jones's mother.
Hey, Kathy. How you doing? You're driving through Ridgeville. I've never been to Ridgeville before, but my daddy has. He said he met some really interesting women in Ridgeville. But he won't tell me how or how many.
Okay, enough. Little Timmy will invariably mess everything up. Now I'm watching my P's and Q's because it's like if my mom were listening, which is impossible because Wi-Fi doesn't.
But
it doesn't penetrate 6 feet under the ground. It doesn't work that way. Wouldn't that be great if you could have Wi-Fi connections when you're dead?
Oh, no, it wouldn't be. That would probably be hell, actually.
Yeah, it would be great if she had if my mother had an instant connection to Moohead Radio.
Okay.
Yeah, she would, and she had I wouldn't want her to have a webcam now that I think about
Oh,
it.
jeez.
Wait. She would be something like this.
You should have finished college. You should have finished college.
Yeah. So I guess it's a best for the best, you know.
Yeah.
So
if I missed anything, I'm a couple minutes late. So
no.
You didn't miss anything.
Rick May is giving you some information. Tito Francona is getting shoulder replacement surgery, and later on, he's going to have 2 hernia operations.
Oh my!
Time to walk away, retire, relax, rehabilitate, and get away from this organization. Yeah, I'm starting out with the Guardians because they did something that I find reprehensible. They got rid of their players and they gave up. And then just because they won 4 out of 6 games, they won series against the Twins. They're still 5 games behind, which they've been 5 games behind, for most of the back end of the season. And it's only because the Twins aren't very good that this thing is still within shouting's distance, So now all of a sudden it's like they're trying to say, but wait.
There's more.
Yeah. We've been regenerated and we're the Guardians and we're in it to win it. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, are you like, it's like multiple personality syndrome. It's like, would you make up your mind? Are you in it to win it, or are you cruising for a bruising? Which way is it? And I guess the way it is that they're only in it to win it if they can get other teams garbage for nothing. That is basically what it amounts to. So, I'm supposed to be thrilled about getting Giolito, which sounds like the name of an ABBA song. Yeah.
No. Giolito.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like one of those Spanish-sounding things.
No,
that
it
the
sounds
Swedish
like
band
one of those frozen pizzas that you get from Giant Eagle.
That's true. There's actually a Giannino's pizza up here in Northeast Ohio. So I'm going to call it Giolito's now. Giolito is 35 years old. He's been pitching for how long? And he was a White Sox. They got rid of him, and then he's coming over from a team. I don't know what the Angels got rid of him, and this is supposed to be, he's got a career 3.9 earn run average. I'm like,
woohoo!
yeah, I mean, he's mediocre. And it's like they picked up a bunch of scabs, in essence, people that they have no intention of signing next season. And this is what bothers me, is that we were just waiting for a team to finally do what eventually somebody had to do. I mean, the Angels, between Otani, who just his arm is ruined, and their record, and they just said, we're just going to save ourselves. We're just get out of this. It's like, we're going out of business. And so they just let a bunch of players go, and the Guardians got 3 of them. And I guess it's reprehensible to me, because you can't ask people to put their butts in the seats.
Oh, yeah.
And take away their players and then replace them with, and I know Mr. Jones, that Cole Calhoun has done a really good job at 35 years of age. He's brought a veteran's perspective and presence into the dugout, and I have no problem with Cole Calhoun. What I have a problem with is that we are unable to create our own prospects in the minor league system. Yeah. We don't have a hitter who's even ready to come up to even get a look-see for this losing, lousy team. And we're going after other teams' garbage. I mean, look what we've added since we gave up. I mean, we got the Laureanos. We got these people. And how does Cam Gallagher still have a job? He's not a very good catcher. He doesn't have a good arm. And he's hitting for the same average that Luis Tiant did in 1968. I mean, he's like a pitcher at the plate. He's hitting 120 something. I mean, you can't possibly be serious that you're trying to sell this to people and that they're going to buy it. And nobody's showing up to the games. And the thing that I found most interesting about this whole story was not that the Guardians had the unmitigated gall to do it, but it was the other owners in Major League Baseball, because they're not happy that the Angels just decided to have a garage sale. All right. Okay. And this type of thing, wholesale departures. There are 5 guys. Moore was the left-handed relief pitcher that came to Cleveland.
I don't know what's happened because I don't follow this. So if you want to explain it, what's actually happened?
Well, they just got rid of like 5 players, and 3 of them were taken by Cleveland.
Were they starters, or were they just like,
no, Giolito was 1-5 with them, and things didn't go well there for him. Moore was actually pretty good. He was the better of the bunch, and I don't even let's see if I can get the name of the last fellow. And Lopez is the other one. They play 6 players on waivers Wednesday, including Giolito, Lopez, and Moore. And those are the 3.
Wow, that's
that the guard. Yeah, I mean, they just literally tanked everything in the month of August, and then they said, So the other owners at Major League Baseball, this isn't right. This isn't right, and it's like, this is what tells me what a pig sounds like and looks like. These people,
you're going to explain it, right? That they just devalued all of their franchises and the players' salary by doing that.
$100 million, $200 million, $300 million payrolls, and teams are not winning. Okay. Yeah. And they're all bent out of shape because a crummy organization like the Guardians minor league franchise, the Guardians, the joke of baseball, the Guardians, went ahead and lapped those players up like, man, like this is, hot stew on a cold winter's night. These people are, they're not going to be around, but for the last month of the season. And this is the way the organization is going to pretend, well, we really tried to make a go of it. It's like, what about your minor league organization? I'm so sick and tired of hearing about, well, here's another great arm. You know what happens to all the great arms? Ask Mackenzie, the stick man.
They die.
My elbow! My elbow! Yeah. I mean, ask Shane Bieber. I mean, it's like, oh, we got plenty more where he came from. And now Gavin Williams' knee gives out on him of the mound because he's never pitched this many innings before in his professional career. And they're like, well, we'll bring somebody else in. And it's just, so we'll bring Giolito in because Gavin Williams doesn't have a kneecap anymore.
Wow.
And it's so pathetic that they're not developing any offensive players. Well, they're offensive, but they're not offensive. And it's just to the point where it makes me sick to my stomach. Wow. And I just want to say, if this is what it is, take it away. Move the team, go away. I'm not going to talk about this bullshit. Last year, it was like they had a bunch of young guys who were enthusiastic and things went their way. But during the offseason, they charted what the hitters hit and what they don't hit. Plus, the averages in baseball dropped anyway. The team has no power. It has no ability to hit home runs. It can't score runs in bunches. And the pitching staff is now comprised of predominantly young, unproven talent, and they have no chance whatsoever to really.
And they also were wholly unprepared for that pitch clock too, both the pitchers and the hitters. So,
well, poor Xavier Curry got in there, playing against Minnesota, and he soiled himself. I mean it. And I felt bad because the guy's like a career minor league player, and he's like, well, they're trying to hype him up now, and it's like the guy's got a mediocre fastball, 90 to 92, and not a sharp breaking pitch. He doesn't have a strikeout pitch. He's not a ground ball pitcher, and it's like, really unbelievable. You want a Tim Misny.
Just gotta get that eyebrow. Yeah, there's the eyebrow.
Everywhere I go. He looks like a demented Mr. Spock. He's going to make everybody pay. He's going to break into a building with a loaded weapon. He's going to open fire because he's just angry and he's going to make everyone pay. That's the only thing I can think of is that what would happen if every mass murderer in American history could buy billboards. I was thinking about this the other day because I think about stupid things like that, and it's like if Charlie Manson, you could put up Charlie Manson with those piercing eyes.
Those eyes, yeah.
I'll make them pay. No, his would be, I'll find somebody else to make them pay. That would be Charlie Manson. And then Jeffrey Dahmer, I'll make them pay and then I'll eat them.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So, why would a lawyer want to be associated with a retributional message? Well,
that's what appeals to people nowadays. Revenge.
I guess. They're angry. They're angry.
And they have every right to be angry.
Yeah. It just
they still care. When you stop caring, then you stop being angry.
Well, at any rate, if I see one more of those things, I'm just going to lose my mind. And it's like I'm in a good mood, and then I see that.
Yeah,
You
just
know?
don't go on like I-90 or I-480 or wherever they are. They're everywhere. Mm.
Yeah, you know, the other thing about Tim Misney, and I can guarantee you, I've never met him. All right, so I can't tell you, hey, at the country club, Tim's a great guy, but
He's probably one of your neighbors.
how much do you want to bet he doesn't pay his freaking bills?
Oh, I wouldn't even
That would
wanna
be
go
so
there.
appropriate,
I
It's
wouldn't
like,
wanna
and he
go there.
was busted for owing people money. So he's making everyone else pay, but he doesn't have to.
That's because
Typical
he's
lawyer.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Tim Misney, you know who would be the perfect girlfriend partner for him?
No.
Oh, come on. It's easy. It's an easy one. I'm throwing you a softball here. This is
Well,
like floating out over the plate. It's the amazing Kia girl. Can you imagine?
oh no.
Can you imagine them having offspring?
Well, for her, he would have to pay. and pay. And pay.
Tim Misney and the Kia girl and their children. I think that should happen. That's the world I want to live in.
Wouldn't that be great if you were a client of Tim Misney? And when it came time to get the bill, you say, I'm going to make you pay this time, Tim.
Yeah, I'm not paying this. You can pay it.
It's just miserable. So at any rate, I don't want to hear anything more about the Guardians, because the Guardians aren't serious. They haven't been serious. They're never going to be serious. I hope they lose every single game to the Tampa Bay Rays. I hope that Giolito gets shelled. I hope that everything that could possibly goes wrong. Hi, Daktar. Yeah, no, it's your watch. Your watch is off. No,
yeah, we
it
had
is
the time change.
Yeah. so much for the Guardians. I've
Dwayne
given them
Stats is coming. Is it Dwayne Stats coming to Cleveland? I think you guys should meet up and you can show him.
That would, I never thought of that. Well, there you are, you son of a bitch. I've been waiting to get my hands around your throat. You're not funny. You're not funny at all. Yeah, wouldn't that be great to stand in front of him
and start saying
telling the dirtiest jokes that you could think of?
Just get a press pass for Jacobs Field and like hang out by the elevator and then ride up with him or something.
Yeah, how about Dwayne Stats telling a joke? Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So all the gods are up in the sky in their palatial mansions, and there's a big party up there, and all of them are attending. You can see them all, every one of the great Greek gods. And one guy in there is a gay guy who visits the party, and he is just so excited to be in the midst of such maledom, if that's a word.
Yeah.
So he proceeds to see this incredibly good-looking man with long hair, and he goes over to him and he says, "My name's Bruce." And the guy says to him, "I'm Thor." And Bruce says, "You're Thor? I was just getting pumped in the ass by Zeus in the back room."
Well done.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry.
We reached the reach around section of the program.
Sorry,
Kathy.
Kathy. It all comes to an end at some point.
Yeah, you couldn't hold out for that long.
Nah, why? Why should I?
Why should you?
So Josh Naylor is in rehab.
Oh no, no.
Not the stuff of TV programs. No, he's trying to get healthy, along with pitcher Michael Kelly. Yeah. He's with the Rubber Ducks. Yeah. So it's his second game, and so yeah, but he's hurt. On a friendly, this pretty well says it all. Richard Brandon.
didn't hear that one before, did you, Richard?
No, because nobody would have the nerve to say it.
Yeah, Dwayne Statwood. I mean, let's be honest. That guy, he'd be like Gilbert Gottfried, you know, the most disturbing jokes you've ever heard in your life. I've got a bunch more like that, Richard. If you're if you're interested sometime hearing more, just let me know. Look at this. What a good sport. So I'll clean it up again, Kathy. I promise.
For at least 5 minutes, anyway. So what else is going on?
Also going on in the wonderful world of sports, the Browns have named their captains for 2023. So basically, Deshaun Watson, Myles Garrett, Anthony Walker from the sidelines, Joel Bitonio, and Charlie Hewlett, who's going to be probably 10 yards back for the coin toss. Yeah. Wouldn't that be great if the captains came out for the coin toss and they were in formation?
Yeah.
I think that would be more fun than the Brownie the Elf.
They should have Charlie Hewlett actually do the coin toss. It goes so high in the air, it would take about 5 minutes for it to come down.
Well, that's interesting too.
Because he's the long snapper, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is the long snapper. You got that right, and you're to be commended for that. But yeah, so those are the 5 captains, and they will all be wearing the C jersey patch.
You know what that stands for over here?
Constipated?
Sorry, Mrs. Jones.
So, at any rate. Here's what Kevin Stefanski had to say. Leadership comes in all different styles, and it comes in different shapes and sizes, Stefanski said after practice. You vote for captains, and it's really important. We also have a leadership committee, and we have players represented from every position there, so you don't need that C to determine that you're a leader.
Wow, that sounds like Eastern Europe, you know?
Then he went on to say, in the locker room, I just met a guy named Thor. No.
You know what's pathetic?
What is pathetic?
For our special teams and our long snapper is the captain. It really says everything, doesn't it?
Well, you know, he's the longest tenured player of the team. And the thing that's amazing is we can't keep a kicker. You know, it's like this guy will snap. You know, and how many punters has he snapped to? It's really amazing.
I don't know, but my favorite long snapper was Ryan Puntbrion. I thought because we drafted him.
I forgot about Puntbrion. Yeah, Puntbrion was awesome.
He was a legend. I want to have a Puntbrion jersey and be the only one, you know, walking around with a Puntbrion jersey.
You know, you want to know how somebody is like a total asshole when it comes to statistics and fantasy football and all of that? Is when some geek says, well, Ryan Pontbriand ran a 4.78 40, and you just want to reach out and strangle somebody. It's like, well, why is that even important? He doesn't move. He just snaps the ball. Please make that stop. By the way, 4 of those 5 captains were in that role on last year's team. The only new addition is Watson, and the reason is because
they paid him $230 million,
and he paid his dues.
Paid everybody, yeah.
He did, and
everybody's been paid. Time to move along.
You know. You know,
moving along.
No. Tim Missy would appreciate Deshaun Watson because he made them pay. That was the weird part of it. Okay, here's a question from Double P. Who had the better Browns career, Jamie Gillen or Cade York?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, is Gillen still kicking in the league?
I don't know if I think he was a deep purple.
What was he? The something hammer, the Scottish hammer? or some such thing they called him.
Yeah.
He had a big leg. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
big leg.
it wasn't real consistent, though, as I recall. So, yeah, I mean, I can't even name all the punters, all the place kickers. It's impossible.
It's like where they go to die. Bit like pitching in, in Cleveland.
That Stefanski was saying about Deshaun Watson, it's very natural for him to lead. That's what the women said. You can see you're not going to get much out of me today, but I am just in such a bitter mood about the Guardians. All right, then there's Jerome Ford.
What's happened to him? Is he still alive?
Well, yeah, he's returning from his injury. Now, I refuse to admit that any guy with the last name of Ford runs very fast. I'm digging
or
for
does it
material
break
here.
Down? They break down every 5 miles.
We'll talk about this, Richard, in just a moment. Seriously.
Yes.
And I mean, not in a comical way, in a serious way, because there is a story about the fact that there is a history of failure. But he was back to practice on Wednesday after being out since day 11. Nobody knows exactly how great a job this guy can do as a backup running back. But the thing that's weird about it is that Stefanski is saying that he is in the running to be the kickoff returner too. Why would you jeopardize?
Oh my God, you want to get them killed already.
You're right. Your number 2 running back to be wasted on something like that after seeing Jakeem Grant Sr. just go crunch to the ground. That's not something that I would want to see. And especially when, I think personally Strong, the guy they got from the Patriots, is going to be the kickoff returner. Now, the problem there is that you have to have vision and you got, but he is straight line fast. So maybe if he just runs in a straight line and somebody actually blocks for him, he'll be able to hit a crease somewhere. That's what I figure will be the case. But it's not like Ford has had very many opportunities here. Last year, he was behind 3 other running backs in the depth chart. Now he finds himself 1 step away from game time. And that Kevin Stefanski will always underutilize Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
So that will automatically mean that Jerome Ford will be on the field. I mean, he will get snaps. So, and this is what our head coach said. He's played in the preseason last year. He played in games last year. So he's somebody that we do have a lot of confidence in. Yeah, right. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, but I hope that he's not returning kicks. And they said in practice he was. So here's the thing that bothers me.
What bothers you?
Dustin Hopkins comes in a less than ideal circumstance. And he's 32 years old. He was surprised because he didn't think it was possible the Browns would want him with Cade York being on the roster. So basically, he went directly to the Chargers and said, look, am I your guy or is Cameron Dicker?
That's a great name. That is a great name.
No, I ain't got a girl.
She had a Dicker in there all the time.
She used to wear a strap on around her, and her first name was I got a Dicker.
Dwayne Stadd is going to become the king of filthy humor by the time I'm done with this guy. He's got to be the life of the party because on the air, he's anything but. So they told him, no, you're not the guy. And so the next thing you know, he's in Cleveland. He entered the league with the Bills So he kind of has an idea what it's like for people to lose
To
their
play.
jobs kicking because, who
Yeah,
is the
that-
Bills' famous kicker who just
Scotty Norwood, I believe.
Scotty Norwood. Talk to him about Buffalo. I wonder if he ever goes back there. Seriously.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But like so much of his career, Hopkins never actually saw the field in Buffalo because he had a groin injury in
that's
his first season.
You're
Sort of-
sore.
No.
How did that happen, Dwayne?
He was at this party.
No. Oh, God. Then he went to Washington, joining the team one game into the 2015 season. And he remained its go-to kicker until 2021 when the coach there had enough of him missing. And, then he goes, I believe in the providence of God. And I think there are no accidents, Hopkins said. If I never played again, I've got a lot of things to be thankful for, but I stand here X amount of years later, thankful to still be playing the game. It's tough. It's awesome being part of a team. And I go to bed and I thank God for the opportunity, but I keep asking him, why Cleveland? Why?
Because maybe he's died and he doesn't know it and he's been sent to hell.
They asked him what he thought in his first day of kicking in Cleveland Stadium.
No. It's like, get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
My God, how are you supposed to get swirling in here? He described Cleveland Stadium as a notorious place for kickers. There's a guy coming in with a real positive attitude. He's got a built-in excuse now. It's Cleveland and the wind blows. And he also stated that Buffalo and Chicago were much the same way. Am I wrong? But did Chicago have a really, really good field goal kicker? Gould, was that his last name? Did he play for the Bears?
Might have done.
It's not like it's impossible to kick in these places. I mean, Phil Dawson was a really wonderful kicker in Cleveland. Matt Barr was a wonderful kicker in Cleveland. We've just had a bunch of bozos.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm just excited to get the opportunity to practice in Cleveland Brown Stadium tomorrow, Hopkins said. They're changing the name to Last Energy Field because it just seems appropriate. I don't know the ins and outs of what Wynn typically does in there. So we're going to bring in Dick Goddard and explain.
Bring in Dick Goddard.
Yeah, we got to explain Dustin Hopkins. Well, Dustin, it goes something like this. There's a flag that Phil Dawson put out the far west side of the stadium, and it's an orange flag. And if you read it closely, it says, "Get me out of here." And that flag is going every which way. But that's the way he judged how to kick the ball. And he did pretty well. What I can tell you is that you're surrounded by water and there is no way to predict which way the wind goes. I asked Phil Dawson once and he said, I kick it straight. And there you have it. That's something that Cade York never tried.
Wow. That's crazy.
Man. I mean, so I don't know the ins and outs of what the wind typically does there. It's like it's going to move the ball and that it doesn't. I've got a lot to learn about the stadium, but I'm up for the challenge.
Wow.
I mean, that's going in with a real positive attitude. Boy, this is definitely notorious. I mean, Kim Kardashian's notorious. I don't like that word notorious because it's like the worst possible thing, you know? Like, who's notorious?
Oh, God. Everyone's notorious. O.J. Simpson would be notorious.
Wait, I have an impression I want to do.
Okay.
I've been wanting to do this today. I have to. Okay. That was Mitch McConnell. I've been working on that.
Wow. That was good. I've got the Pro Football Reference kicker thing up, and there's some great names here. Who remembers Cody Parkey out there? Raise your hands.
Oh yeah, Parkey. He was
yeah, the massive of the double doink, the man of the double doink. He is the Chicago guy that you may be referring to. You may not be referring to Zane Gonzalez, Greg Joseph.
Where is he now?
Zane Gonzalez. I don't know.
He was another one of these Cade York kind of guys who was can't miss. But he got hurt in Cleveland. And then he ended up going somewhere else.
Well, he was on Carolina in 2021, but I don't think he's on anywhere else now.
Really? He found his way all the way down to Carolina, huh?
Then another great draft pick, Austin Seibert.
Oh, yeah.
Chase McLaughlin.
Oh. He was the drunk guy who was.
Yeah, he was a drunk guy.
Yeah.
And the legendary Billy Cundiff.
Billy Cundiff. I forgot about him.
You want to save his name carefully.
So there's this guy.
No.
Greg Joseph. Yeah, I probably.
I wonder if his wife didn't want to take on the last name.
Yeah. Lou Groza. Now, funnily enough, I'm looking at the stats.
Well, back then he was like a 60 some odd % kicker.
Yeah, yes, exactly. He guess how many field goals he attempted and made that were plus 50 yards.
But that was really amazing in those days.
Yeah.
I think
the goalpost was on the goal line now. The goalpost was all the way out in the.
Yeah. Are you still with me, Bronk? I lost Bronk. Oh, well. I'm going to guess 4 for Lou Groza. So when you come back, Bronk, when you get back on the air, his devices are not connected. He has to reconnect. But no, kicking has been a problem. Here's something I don't understand. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. Maybe it's just because I'm old. Dog tags to revolutionize fan experience at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Digital seat QR codes will help streamline and simplify fan experience. How complicated can the experience of being a Cleveland Browns fan be? I do not understand. Are you there, Bronk? He's not there. Wow. Poor guy. Yeah, he's have to go out and come back in. But I don't understand. So you scan with your phone a QR code, and it opens up this incredible world of what? I'm watching a football game. I don't have time to be doing that shit. We'll try Bronk one more time. You there?
I think I'm here now.
All right, good. How many for Lou Groza? I said 4.
Lou Groza attempted 13 kicks in his 20-year career that were over 50 yards and made 1 of them.
Are you kidding?
No, it's right here.
Wow. R. Jones, this is interesting that you say that. My mom has been a waitress at Red Lobster for 32 years.
Wow.
And they don't tip her very well, and the place has really gone downhill. What are your thoughts about the place move? Well, I'll ask Dwayne Stat that, This is about Red Lobster, but he...
So I'll tell you, my sister came to visit me in Tampa Bay, and she decided she wanted to go deep sea fishing, and she went out with 6 fishermen and came back with a red snapper.
Red snapper and a bunch of crabs.
I'm sorry. No, what I can tell you about Red Lobster, it was the place where America went for seafood. and things have not gone well for that particular franchise. And I remember it was really good. I mean, they had those Chesapeake Bay biscuits, those cheese garlic biscuits.
Oh yeah,
that were really, really good.
yeah. That was
And
40 years ago, though.
yeah, I know. And then, and that was to them what the breadsticks were to Olive Garden back when they were good, right? So
Red Lobster was good before Olive Garden even existed. And then Olive Garden came on the scene about 10 years after.
they had the deep fried fisherman's platter that was really good if you wanted some kind of heart disease. And no, but it was tasty. It was good. And they had a catch of the day. There was actually a fresh catch of the day, which unfortunately, if you're, I don't even want to say this. I'm not.
You're not going to go there.
Yeah, you had to go to the bathroom to get the fresh catch of the day, and it was too strange for me, and I don't want to. Yeah, but no, it's absolutely not a high-end restaurant anymore. So it would be no wonder to me why people aren't tipping. They charge enough for the food, but I don't know what the story is. Yeah, I never knew that Outback Steakhouse was gay, Radu. What do you mean they came out?
Yeah, it came out.
That's early. Those people were ahead of their time.
They are Australian, so they, there you go. That explains a lot.
Yeah. You know what the problem was with Outback Steakhouse?
What?
I would go there and, I didn't care about the Awesome Blossom and all that, stuff. And I would just throw the food away and it would come back and hit me in the back of the head.
Back of the head, yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand what was up with that.
Well, you know the old joke about the blind man walking by Red Lobster. Now, what did he say?
Hello, ladies.
Okay,
well, at least I'm 1 out of 10 today.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sorry, R. Jones, but people who don't tip, that would be like
scum.
Pete Sampras and LeBron James. So, oh God. And then there's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh no, what has he done now?
He got into it,
He's tiresome.
with the Giants, Jihad Ward. I don't know. I don't want to.
Jihad? What,
yeah, who would name their child Jihad? I mean,
obviously an un-American.
I mean, would you let him on a plane?
No.
Neither would I. I mean, I would, if I were United, welcome to United. With the person in 6C, please vacate immediately.
Yeah, he's wearing all these like 4 different waistcoats on and everything. Boy,
Yeah, him sitting on a plane, he'd be on TikTok. See, I'm trying to be more contemporary in my humor.
You are.
Yeah, trying.
Trying.
Yeah. But I guess there was just a dust up, and this will tell you this is the war of New York. In their minds, who's going to be better, the Jets or the Giants? When I say who's going to be worse, the Jets or the Giants?
The Giants.
Yeah, And here's what Rodgers said: he thought we were laughing at his teammate. That never happened. I think he's making shit up. I don't care. Yeah. What is a total asshole? That was Aaron Rodgers for 800, Alex.
Wow.
Yeah. On Wednesday, Ward took umbrage at Rodgers and the Jets, accusing them of laughing after Randall Cobb laid out safety Bobby McCain with an illegal blindside block that left him with a concussion. The scene was captured on HBO's Hard Knocks.
I remember.
Oh, here we go.
Do you remember that show about they Botched was the name of the show, and it was about plastic surgery.
Hard Knockers.
That's exactly right. I saw at least 6 women who ended up with. Okay.
This show will be forgotten, completely forgotten. So at any rate, the scene was captured on Hard Knocks with Rodgers and company laughing in the huddle as the quarterback razzed Cobb about the penalty and the expected fine from the NFL. Ward was miffed and said he retaliated minutes later with a late shove of Rodgers after a completed pass, and that started a heated exchange. I mean, you knock a guy out with a concussion and you're laughing about it in the huddle.
Well, there you go. He won't be laughing 10 years from now when he has CTE as well. So.
Right. I mean, this is not a laughing matter. But I just thought it was humorous that what they're down to is at 40 years of age, Aaron Rodgers is still playing, I got a bigger dick than the Giants. And who really cares between the Jets and the Giants? It's not like we're going to be watching the Super Bowl and seeing either one of those teams in it.
Yeah, they'll be lucky to be playing in the middle of January, those two.
Well, there's one more story I have.
One more.
Yeah, and it really falls right into the whole CTE thing because it's about Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has been an absolute whack job since he left the NFL, right? Now he took a shirt off and ran around the field. I don't know if you remember that.
A bit like Slapshot. The guy the Slapshot movie.
Really weird. Well, he bought a minor league football team called the Albany Empire.
Wow. I guess they're in New York, huh? Albany Empire.
The best player on the team is a guy named Darius Prince, who makes a whopping $3,000 a game. We're talking about the lowest echelon of football that there is, an arena football team. Darius Prince, their leading player, and his 24 teammates wanted to get paid. They'd been owed payment by direct deposit after their previous National Arena League game, which was a loss to the San Antonio Gunslingers. The first since Antonio Brown became the team's majority owner. The week came and went with no payment. Nothing. So a lot of these guys are only making $250 a game, for God's sakes, and they're not even getting paid that. Now, fast forward to April, on a late April evening, there was a bus waiting to take them 10 hours for a Sunday afternoon game against the Carolina Cobras. And the players are like, should we get on the damn bus or just hold out for our money? They sat in their rooms at a 2.5-star hotel between the Greyhound bus terminal and the interstate, refreshing their banking apps and trying to figure out whether they'd been paid or not. Prince helped compile a list of how much each player was owed and sent it to the new team president, Alberoni Dennis, who tried and failed to pay them via Zelle. All right, he didn't know how it worked. Several hours later, Prince then received a screenshot that seemed to show a pending payment would arrive the following Monday, and the Empire players filed onto the bus in time to lose a 56-49 game. However, 4 months later, they're still owed compensation from Antonio Brown's tenure, according to a local attorney. The fans were actually positive when Antonio Brown bought the team in March, but now he's nowhere to be seen. And the team doesn't exist anymore. The National Arena League board voted unanimously to kick them out in June for failure to pay 3 months of membership fees. Now, this may be the first absolute case of a CTE victim owning a sports franchise. And which is telling you that I don't believe either of the Dolans suffers from that condition. They're just lousy owners. I've never heard of anything like this in my life. How did that guy, how bad did they need that team to stick around? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So, you're having all kinds of trouble, aren't you, Bronk? Yeah, Bronk's having all kinds of grief. At any rate, nobody can find Antonio Brown until ESPN finally reached him by phone, referred by his accountant.
I don't know what's happening to me here. But yeah, my comment about that, to tie the whole program into a nice little furry little orange and brown bow, is to say for those players on that team is to get Tim Misney to make them pay.
Yeah, maybe they could just like
Raise their eyebrow at him.
Yeah, maybe they could stand outside the
go.
Guardian Stadium. You know, maybe they could and force the people to buy tickets, and he would make them pay.
Make them pay.
Yeah, but at any rate, they did finally get a hold of Antonio Brown. He goes, "I don't got nothing to say. Just talk to my authorized representative." Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing, isn't it? Life after football. Well, you know, I am excited about watching the Browns too this year. I want to see how they come out in this first week and how prepared they are for a Cincinnati team that, you know, you knew that Joe Burrow was going to play. You knew that. And can we put points on the board? You know, can we get up early and so that the defense is psyched and stopping the opposition? Could we actually, for once, can one part of the team pick up the other? I mean, that's something that we haven't seen in some time. You know, if the defense has a bad game, could the offense pick it up for them?
Yeah.
And the other way around, it's going to be really interesting. And I just loved, you know, they asked Mitch McConnell about the Steelers opening game, and he said, now, I want to ask, I'm not a doctor, all right? But I played one in a
play one on
once.
TV. Yes.
So, how in the hell can the doctor sign off saying he's fit to serve, which they did?
Wow.
And you know what they said? It's not an uncommon thing, get lightheaded and, you know, and they keep saying that he's lightheaded.
Wow.
He literally just freezes for no apparent reason, like you do, Bronk, on the show. And
jeez, that's disturbing.
I mean, just unbelievable. I just don't. The thing that's scary about it is what could be so damn important. I know that he's the minority leader of the Senate. I understand that. But you could replace him with any other douchebag who does what he's told to do because that's what he's doing. Why are they so afraid that,
I don't know.
You know, it's like the guy is incompetent. All I hear about is Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is old and feeble. He should not be president of the United States, and he should not run again. And there should be a rule that says once you reach a certain age, and I know it's ageist and people, oh, that's not fair. Well, if you can't become president by the time you're 80, fuck you. Okay.
Oh, I would lower it to 70 myself, man. You can't run for president over 70.
We had Ronald Reagan, you know,
and he didn't remember being president.
Well, I don't remember. Nancy who? I don't remember. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. And do you remember what he used to do? He was already suffering from Alzheimer's disease. He'd be coming off the plane. They'd be yelling questions. He'd go like
he couldn't hear it.
You. Like he couldn't hear me. You know, it's like, do the ear thing, Ronnie. Do the ear thing, and you'll walk out of there. And it's disturbing. And what's disturbing to me, my mother passed away from Alzheimer's, and that ain't being lightheaded. That's not being caught in the moment. Do you realize that if I was on the air and that happened to me, and my people my family or whoever was standing beside me, wouldn't they rush to your aid? Wouldn't they be
Correct.
getting on their cell phones and calling the hospital? These motherfuckers have seen this act 12 times. Now, it's only happened twice that the cameras have caught it, but they know. I mean, it's impossible that the press secretary there didn't get agitated and excited. She knew. And why do they keep putting him up there? It's embarrassing. It's demeaning. And the only thing I can say about Mitch McConnell is before he looked like an old turtle, and now he is a brain damaged turtle. And based on the bullshit that we had to put up with from this asswipe, why keep him around? Put in another Republican and, he'll get voted in Kentucky. He'll get, no problem. He'll get voted in. Why do we have to stick with this?
Yeah, they could even vote in Jim Jordan to be. Oh, God. But anyway, yeah.
That's time to get out of here. This time for good. But I will be back. I'll be back again on Monday, and that's going to be starting the week, man. And that's the Browns week, man. So this is going to be
Bengals week.
The real. Wait a minute, Don Criqui.
The
Battle of Ohio. Battle of Ohio. Whatever. Is Don Criqui still alive?
I believe he is. He's probably older than any president, I think. I think he's older, like in his 80s. We'll look him up very quickly.
Yeah, see, Don Criqui still alive. Do you think
Don Criqui is 82? He is 82 years old.
Hey, good for him. He's still with us. Do you think that when he passes away on his headstone, it'll say, "We'll be right back"?
We'll be right back after this break.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And you're right, Doggy Bones. That's the sad part of it. They want to own those people, lock, stock, and barrel. I mean, it is pathetic. Thanks for tuning in. Yep. And I'm bipartisan on this. I mean, Dianne Feinstein is 90 years old. She has no business. She's totally verklempt. She doesn't know what she's doing or saying. It's pathetic. Yeah. It was like when we used to do the Senator Byrd videos from West Virginia, man.
Barbaric.
Barbaric. You've got what was my favorite? What was the one he said?
It is barbaric.
Well, he addressed his colleague, and I forget what he said. It was something like my respected colleague from Tucumcari or it was some and C-SPAN was showing this, and it was like, oh my God, this is like.
And it makes America look even more like a laughing stock to the rest of the world, because the rest of the world loves this shit. Let me tell you, they eat it up. Anything about an American politician looking sleazy, stupid, brain dead, or criminal, the rest of the world fucking loves that crap.
So it would seem. All right, Bronk, I'm out of here, everybody. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here again for about the 8th time. Any word from Dick Goddard today?
I already did. And thanks, everybody, for supporting the program. I appreciate it. Subscriptions are going up. It's that time of the year. So, of course, after the season, they go away again. But
they
still,
go back down again.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, and I'll be back again Monday. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. And Kathy and R. Jones, good night.
Good night, Kathy.